Rightio guys, now we're on to the C4, which is the freestyle weapon of choice and wake style weapon of choice for a lot of the freestylers and wake stylers out there in the industry. Big thing you can probably notice straight away is how much more, I guess, when leading edge down, more vertical the profile of the kite is. So the wingtips are a lot squarer as well. Probably the big thing that we want to mention is the ability for the C4 now to be able to change from a 4-line to a 5-line setup. So do you want to run through some characteristics with that and some of the key things?
Sure.
About the C4?
Yeah. Obviously I'm not a freestyler, I'm a bit older for that, and but I've been around for so long, and I've got friends like Alex Lewis-Hughes, who has a big input into this kite. Also Jake Kelsick is one of the testers for the brand, and a rider. And there's a few other people on the team that are very, very competent, freestyle riders. And they basically designed this kite. With this version, version 7, has had a lot of input from Alex Lewis-Hughes, and it has now a 5-line conversion option, because Alex, being the tinkerer and crazy professor that he is, couldn't leave his kite alone, and basically converted his version 6 to a 5-line kite. And everyone would have seen the photos of Alex riding around with, a C4, but it was on 5-line. And he made it in such a way that he used existing parts of the Ozone trim system and the Ozone bar, and for all intents and purposes it looked like an Ozone bar, except the bar itself was one of Alex's tiny creations, but he rides all of his kites on a bar about this long. The key thing that Alex likes about the kite, and I know Jake likes about the kite as well, is it's really upright design and powerful turning. It has great pop, and even more so now that it has a 5-line option. So if you're really into freestyle, you would ride this kite in 5-line only. If you're in a bit of crossover, I've seen Alex absolutely smash waves with this kite in 5-line. He's a bit of a freak, true, but at the same time, I've ridden the kite quite a bit, and I love it just for free riding. I think it's one of the nicest, most powerful kites in the range for turning, boosting, looping, and then freestyle. I can't really comment. I don't unhook, not anymore. And yeah, it's just from what I'm told, it's a great kite for unhooking. It has, in the 5-line mode, great pop, and nice turning.
And with the 5th-line mode, that would be like a 5th-line supported. So
oh yeah, it's fully tensioned 5th-line.
It's not a 4-line kite with a safety line in the middle.
It's not a safety 5-line, and that's why it is a tensioned line. And untensioned 5-lines, I'm not sure whether they still exist. They're not really doing anything, they're just a safety line. A tensioned 5-line is actually replacing the bridle, and it's important to mention that some people out there sort of poo-poo a kite that's got a bridle on it, saying it's not a sea kite. Well, it is and it isn't. It's a bit of both, because all of the top sea kites that are 4-line, that have a 5th line, that 5th line is the bridle, because it is under tension and it is supporting the leading edge, either through a single Y line, or like some kites that have like 4 lines, and they call it a 6-line kite. That in particular is a bridle kite. You cannot sort of deny it. It's just replacing the bridle on the kite, and you'll actually see that where the points attach on this kite, again, they don't go into the center of the kite. They have 2 adjustments in the center there. And these are used as that pigtail is used when you convert the kite to the 5-line system. But yes, this bridle is a replication of basically what a 5th line does. Because when it's in 4-line, that's where your front lines attach, and then your 5th lines attach out here, and you can see it's pretty much replicating the bridle. The safety system on the Ozone kites is the same all through the range, and we haven't really touched on that, but we will when we go back to the bar later. It is a single frontline flagging system. Basically, it kills the kite efficiently, and you can still relaunch the kite because of the way the ozone bar is set up. But we'll come back to that later with when we examine the bar in detail.
Yeah.
This particular kite is the first in the range that is 5-strut, that we may or may not have mentioned already, but it's very obvious. 5 struts, the point of difference would be that it makes the kite more, a rigid canopy. It's supported over the kite better, so the canopy develops more power and doesn't depower as in the same manner. It still depowers, but not in the same way as the other kites. So it depowers through the bridle or through the moving the bar in and out, but it's in a different fashion to the 3-strut kites. Very powerful turns, fantastic for looping, really good all-rounder. You know, if you're someone that's got a surfboard and a pair of boots and a twin tip, yeah, it's probably the kite to get. Yeah. But if you're a pure wake style, freestyle rider, there's no other choice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think like Steve mentioned, if you ride freestyle and wake style, then it's obviously going to be your choice to go to, the kite to go to. But even like Steve mentioned as well, Alex rides this in the surf, and you see that he can really, he's quite a good rider and a freak, like Steve mentioned. But just because it's a 5-line sea kite or a 4-line that can be changed to a 5-line sea kite doesn't mean that you can't ride in certain conditions. And it's just the design characteristics of the kite is just going to be a little bit different compared to the Catalyst and the Rio and the Enduro and everything else. But if you were leaning towards this, you sort of will understand what you want initially. So, but a really nice kite and a really well thought after kite, and really extensively tested. So it's a great addition to a great kite in the Ozone line. So next we're going to go check out the Edge, and then we're going to go to the Zephyr, so which is going to be the other spectrum again from the freestyle wake style group. So let's get into those.